Welcome to Stream 5 of Nascimento Marketing's 32 Blitz, presented by Living Sport. I'm Christopher Nascimento of Nascimento Marketing. And before we get into today's guests on our Zoom call, let me just run through the rules quickly before we begin. So, it's going to be a best of 3 series. So, whoever wins 2 first wins. It's going to be 12-minute games, but considering we're playing MLB The Show today, I think we're going to do 3 or 5 innings, try to keep it light. And then for the team selection, so for the guys playing, listen up, it's going to be done via random. So I know in FIFA we had an issue with that where we couldn't really decide, but hopefully with MLB we can do so. Basically, you get to pick between 2 random selections. And let's say you got Blue Jays and Phillies. Boom, boom, you can pick between the 2. But if you don't like either team and you want a third option, and you hit random for a third time, that's the team you stick with. You can't go back to the Blue Jays or the Phillies. So, with that, let me introduce you to our Zoom call. Haral, are you able to stream? Sure. Well, for the time being, let me just have the Zoom call here with everyone. Just got to figure out Zoom for a second. Sorry for the delay to anyone who's tuned in so far. There we go. We got the squares going. Yep. Yeah, so how about let's just start with, while you guys are figuring this out and trying to get connected on PSN and Twitch and whatever, let's start with Chelsea. Do you mind maybe just introducing yourself and telling us a bit about you?
I traveled on the very first international sport business program that took place in 2017. I traveled to Barcelona, Spain, and since then have been bouncing around in the sports industry, or going from job to job, just trying to get my career started.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And you're located in Indianapolis, correct, or Indiana?
Yep, absolutely, Indianapolis. Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. Sam, do you want to give us a little update about yourself and at the same time a little status update on the game? Have you guys are added yet?
Yeah, well, my name's Sam, and I just graduated this past year. I'm trying to get into sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little difficult, but I'll make my way through. I was just at Seneca doing television broadcasting,
Mm-hmm.
so everything behind the camera. So I'm trying to get into that kind of sports broadcasting kind of stuff, but behind the camera.
Yeah.
Everything behind the scenes. But I'm still looking for a job, and because of COVID-19, it's not looking too good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, of course. No, that makes
I don't
sense.
know.
Can relate.
Yeah.
What about the update on the adding? Have you guys added each other yet on the game system?
So we're friends,
Okay.
but I still can't see if he's online or not.
Haral, any updates?
No.
Yeah, the game started. I think I should be online. I'm just connected to the server, Sam. I don't know if we can refresh it or anything like that and see if it shows me online now.
Well, I just saw you now.
Okay.
All right.
Haral, are you able to stream now?
Yep, I'll start streaming right now.
Perfect. And at the same time, hopefully you guys can multitask. Haral, you maybe tell us a bit about yourself while Sam kind of gets us all set up.
Yeah, of course. My name is Haral Patel. I'm heading into my final year of studies at Western University in London, Ontario. And I've been a part of the sports business community there since my first year. I was an executive on the Western Sport Business Club. And most recently, I've been on the Ivy Sports Leadership Conference, which started about 2 years ago. And we're heading into our third year now. I'm excited to have the honor to be one of the co-chairs for the conference this year. And with sports in London, obviously, it's a big hockey town, with the London Knights being one of the Ontario Hockey League's premier franchises. So there's a lot of hockey buzz around there as well. But for me, I would like to work in the sports industry one day, regardless of what sport that's in. It's just nice to be around the thrill of the game with everyone just being excited and passionate, whether you're a fan, whether you're an employee, or whether you're one of the players. So that's something about the environment that I just really enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. No, I completely agree. And London Knights are quite the franchise in the OHL. And before we kind of dive into anything else, kind of just want to get the stream going here in terms of the gameplay. Any updates in the last minute or so?
I should be streaming now, so
You
if you
are
can see.
perfect. So that we're gonna change screens in a few seconds. Are you guys added and are in some type of lobby yet?
Sam, do you want to send the invite or should I send the invite?
How can you exactly send it? So it's exactly like me versus you only. There's Diamond Dynasty, we can do that, but no
Right,
casual with everybody else.
Is there a play now option, or do you want to just go into Diamond Dynasty and run with our teams?
We can do Diamond Dynasty if that's quicker.
Yeah, sure. Like, I'll be honest, my team's not the best, but whatever gets the stream going quicker, I'm okay with.
Yeah, I don't really care how you guys are good at video gaming or not, but it's more of the conversation, the networking behind all of that.
Yeah, of course. All right, I'll load up Diamond Dynasty.
I'll send it out to you.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
I think you guys were the only two with MLB The Show too in the whole stream, so I think initially I had you guys pegged with other teams, but I think after a bit I kind of tried to mix it up and put some baseball into there, so that's why you guys were playing together first round. Actually, now that I'm looking at my board, I completely forgot who won last night.
So it's sent.
And I didn't.
Just received it.
Perfect.
All right. Oh, opponent found. Okay.
All right, let's go.
You guys are good?
Yeah, I was the last one out of my buddies to get MLB 20 The Show, so in terms of, I got it like a month ago once quarantine started actually, so really far behind on the Diamond Dynasty game.
It's a good game.
How long have you had the game? Yeah, it's pretty fun. How long have you had the game for, Sam?
I think from the weekend it came out or whatever.
Oh, you've got a lot of experience on me then.
I mean, I sort of cheat, but
You cheat. Whoa.
A little bit.
How so?
Are we going with the Houston Astros then? Am I allowed to say that on stream?
Yeah, go for it. I don't know why that took me a couple seconds there to understand. But,
It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
100%.
Honestly.
Here, let me see. I think everything's set up. It says opponent ready. Okay, who's who here? How do I know which team?
My team is, I think we're going to have some green jerseys. The team name is Brampton, so should be pretty easy to identify which one's mine.
So it seems like Brampton guys always let you know that they're from Brampton.
Sometimes it's all we've got going for us.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, no. I'm not going to say anything.
I've been born and raised in Brampton, so I've been proud, and everything I know about it pretty much has been from Brampton, so got to rep when I'm out of town, right?
Yeah, 100%. Here. Not to delay anything, I'm just trying to check all the channels and make sure the broadcast is going well.
Yep, no problem.
The stream says ready. Are we just waiting for...
Yep, I think Sam's the host, so he has to, I guess, put in the settings. Yeah, I think we're in now.
Sam, can we make this a little tighter? Whether it's 3 innings or something? Or 5? My thing is the 5 if we go the distance, then we at least need someone to win 2 games. Let me see these teams. I can't read it. Yeah, the screen's too small here. Who do we got? You guys want to say it out loud?
Yeah, I can really just go over my roster. I've got Omar Vizquel, Bo Bichette, Miguel Cabrera, Gary Sanchez, Kenny Griffey Jr., Al Colleen, Vlad Guerrero Jr. So you can see the Blue Jays representation there.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's the first 2 guys I wanted to unlock.
Okay, the stream's going.
All right.
Who's I'm guessing Bombers or Sam?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, who's batting? Is this
I'm pitching right now.
You're pitching? Got it.
Yo, I didn't know your team was that good.
Oh, that's good. I'll take the compliment.
Yeah.
Does this close the gap on experience? Maybe we'll have a tight game.
Yeah. I guess now that the game's going, we kind of can start getting to the conversation. You guys can show your multitasking skills here a little bit.
Awesome.
Little strike right there, swing and a miss. But yeah, guys. So who kind of wants to go first? I know Chelsea, you're a Living Sport alum. Do you want to maybe touch on your experiences with them or anything like that?
Yeah. Pretty much my entire experience in the sports industry since I graduated has Living Sport attached to it in some way or another. So I graduated in the spring of 17, went on my trip in August of 17, um, interviewed for my first internship actually while at the airport waiting to go to Spain,
Wow.
wildly enough. And yeah, as soon as I got back, I got an internship in the NHL with the Minnesota Wild and found out that I was only hired because I was going on this trip.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that
I was
work
the
out?
first hindsight, it was amazing. Like it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. You know, touched on it earlier, the environment in sports, in my personal opinion, it doesn't get any better than hockey. And Minnesota is a great market for hockey. The team was pretty good the year that I was there too. I think they only lost like 15 or 16 games at home. So it was always fun for me while I was there. But yeah, it was great.
Do you want maybe touching on how living sport was the reason why you got the internship there?
Yeah. So I was trying to schedule, interviews, and they just happened. The one interview time that they sent me was during my layover in JFK. And so I had to start the conversation like, I'm sorry, this is super unprofessional, but if there's background noise, I'm currently at JFK. This is why. And then the guy that ended up being my supervisor, I guess, essentially kind of like threw out all the questions he was going to ask. And we just talked about the trip. And I hadn't even gone yet. He just wanted to know like what I was doing and whatever. And he said, because I was the type of person that was willing to, go out and get such unique experience and all the things that the program presented me, which was traveling abroad, working internationally, with sporting events, learning, new culture, networking, everything that the program has to offer. He was sold.
Yeah, no,
It was cool.
amazing. Yeah, no,
Ended up being the first out of state person hired for that position too. So yeah, the whole thing was pretty wild. Oh, that's a bad pun. That was not on purpose. I
what was the
promise.
pun? Sorry, I completely missed the pun.
I said that it was wild.
Oh, got it.
That was bad. It wasn't on purpose.
I loved it.
I'm a little late here. I guess I'm a little tired, sleeping on outdoor patio furniture this afternoon, taking a break from working hard during the week. But now that I thought of it, not obviously everything you said is completely amazing, and we do kind of want to touch on your experiences with the Wild as well a little later on. But I completely forgot to introduce myself. So I'm Christopher Nascimento. So at the bottom here, where the banner is, where the logo, Nascimento Marketing, that's my personal brand, where you can follow my career throughout my career. I don't know. I'm a little fogged up from sleeping this afternoon. But yeah, so on my Nascimento Marketing account, you can see my podcast, which is a sports business focused podcast. It's basically a glorified coffee chat, is what I like to say. It's with executives in all sorts of leagues and positions throughout the sports industry, as well as just catching up with the different projects I'm working on, whether it's with startups or even now with the new soccer team here in Ottawa that I joined, Atletico Ottawa. Sam, I see you're a soccer fan. I know you're going to be coming to Ottawa to watch some games, correct?
I don't know.
Nope, that's a yes.
Maybe
Wrong
to-
answer. Let's try that again. Sam, you're going to be
Maybe
coming
the
to
route
Ottawa.
on York 9.
Pardon?
Maybe the route on York 9.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. Sam, you know they're connected, right? Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, a little bit.
The little connection there, Atletico Madrid and Atletico Ottawa.
That's pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, it's quite the connection. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I'm expecting you to actually. You know what? Let me 1 second, Sam, just for you. Sam, I know you
Oh, he's got the
were
jersey,
filming
too.
some content the other day, so I know you'd rather be wearing a jersey like this. That's a look. Look. Nothing against
That's
Toronto
beautiful.
FC, but look at that, right? Nice
That's
crisp.
I
pretty
gotta
sweet.
say, the stripes always look good on the soccer field.
Pardon?
Stripes always look good on the soccer field, so
Especially
I don't
in
know.
Ottawa. Especially in Ottawa.
that's a nice looking kit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first kit they've ever had since they were just introduced in February, but yeah, pretty interesting time. What else should I say about myself? I graduated like a week or two ago. I'm not.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, guys.
Yeah. I didn't attend my virtual graduation because I had a meeting instead. But yeah.
Graduation's for the birds. It's pretty overrated.
Yeah. Well, I wish I had a graduation in person, but I think Sam could attest to that with myself. But yeah, that's a bit about me. Now let's kind of get into everything. Oh, you know what? Before we do, if I'm not wrong, Harel, you're winning, correct?
Yeah, I got lucky off a home run, but
Home run.
it's only a 1-run game, right? Can't get too ahead of myself.
Yeah. Sam, what do we put the innings to? 3 or 5?
I believe I put him to 3.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's 3.
So what? Are we bottom of the
Yeah.
second?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Zooming
I
by.
may have underestimated how quick these games can go. But
Yeah, they go quick. Well, we swing at everything, so.
yeah. See, I'm
Take
looking-
after the cover man himself, Javi Baez, always swings at the first pitch.
Yep.
Who's the? Maybe I haven't watched baseball in a while. I guess. Who's the cover?
Javi Baez,
Oh, did I just?
Oh,
I don't know what team he's on. I feel
the
awful.
Cubs.
The Cubs? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more of a American football, NHL, soccer type of guy. than,
That's fair.
Yeah.
I honestly probably wouldn't know if it wasn't someone from the Cubs.
Are you a Cubs fan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Cubs aren't bad. I if I had to go for I was gonna say NFC. That's what I mean. That's why you don't like sleep and like work too hard during the week because now you're
Yeah,
all
no, it's
fogged up. But yeah, I mean NL team. But so I know Sam just graduated as well. Chelsea. Sorry, I don't know if we touched on this. Did you say where you went to school?
No, I went to Ball State University.
Okay, nice. And are you still at school or have you finished?
Nope, I graduated in 2017.
Okay, and not to continue bombarding with questions, but what degree?
Fine, let's go.
What degree did you attend or go for? Sorry, I'm just watching the screen.
I studied sport administration
Okay.
with marketing and management concentrations.
Okay, nice. So everyone, there's kind of a nice little mix here. I guess Raul, you're the only one here that's not finished school, but that's good because we kind of get these different perspectives. Maybe we can kind of have a chat of what the plans are for everyone, earlier on in the career. So let's say, hopefully, COVID kind of goes its course and a vaccine comes and kind of attend normal life again. So what's the plan for everyone once, the sports industry or the economy as a whole goes back to normal? Do you want to start with Sam and kind of work our way up to Raul and then Chelsea?
Well, I'm gonna try to get some job. I've been previously working with Dome Productions,
Okay.
so they're a big production company all over North America.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I can get back with them. But
Yeah.
I'm day by day at this point.
What kind of position are you looking for specifically?
For me, it's been very entry level jobs kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to do that, but hopefully somewhere along the line I can move up to camera
Okay.
because that's really fun and you're in the building the whole time, feel the energy.
Is there any way to specific? Oh my! I'm all over the place today. To specifically get yourself in a position like that, whether it's just through who you know, or just
Sort of just build the ranks.
Yeah.
Just go through it from the beginner job way to as high as I can at this point.
Mm-hmm. Raul, how about
That's
yourself?
what I'm doing.
Sorry, Sam.
Well, hopefully when sports starts, one of the things I'm looking at is seeing what the OHL is going to be doing. I work part-time with the London Knights, actually, so
Nice.
help them out during their game days and stuff with some promotions, with just sponsorships and stuff like that. So we're looking to see. I'm looking to see what's happened with the season itself, because obviously if there's no fans, there's not a lot of need for in-game promo.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I said, I'm co-chair for the Ivy Sports Leadership Conference. So regardless of whether the university classes are resuming in class or not, we're hoping to do some form of a conference in either January or February. One of the things we're actually looking at and we might lean towards is an online conference. So something virtual with just either through Zoom or through other some sort of applications, get a lot of speakers to have some discussion and stuff from the comfort of their own home, and just give our delegates and even just a wider audience an opportunity just to have some more conversations about sports business and the different issues related to sports leadership in the industry that we're seeing. Especially now in the last couple of months, we've seen a lot of issues arise. So I feel like if we do a conference in January, February, there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of just touching on the different events you may have to do, depending how the school year plays out. Have you guys thought of any different events? Because even myself, I saw, I'll kind of give away my secret here. I'm a fan of Spittin' Chiclets, and they had the Chiclets Cup, and I saw this whole setup. I'm like, pardon, what was that, Chelsea?
I said, who is it?
Yeah, exactly. What a podcast. So I saw
people
this.
with taste.
Yeah, yeah. I saw. I'm like, let me try this out. This is much harder than meets the eye. It's not as easy as just boom, zoom. There's like a bunch of different underlying softwares and anyways. But have you guys looked into anything like that for the conference or for specific events or webinars in the future?
Yeah, that's what we're kind of in the works of doing right now over the summer, just trying to see whether it's through Zoom or maybe a different type of conferencing application. If we can get something going where we're just live streaming some discussions between speakers. We've had the pleasure of having a lot of great speakers come in the past years, and a lot of them are Western alumni.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to tap into that base of Western alumni to come speak. So we're hoping to leverage that and get some of them to talk a bit more about their roles and stuff. But yeah, definitely looking at the webinar aspect of things. I guess the only thing that I was thinking of in terms of webinars is I feel like maybe by January, February, we might be all tired out with webinars. So got to find a way to innovate and try to keep it a bit more entertaining and engaging and fresh for all the viewers.
Well, maybe a little hint right here. The visual entertainment and then the discussion on the side is never a bad option or combination.
Yeah, if we can get some better MLB players, it'd be a hit for sure.
Yeah, man. That wouldn't be me, but maybe a different sport like NHL or... Actually, I was streaming with a CFL player a couple weeks ago. It's doing fine.
Way.
Yeah. We were just having a one-on-one discussion. So this initially started off as I have my podcast, Instagram account, and sometimes I shoot out a message asking, hey, like, what do people want to see? Because you basically want to satisfy your audience. And I put out a poll, who had an interest in some type of PS4 event? Crazy results. I got 40 DMs. And
wow.
Yeah, in one night. So I'm like, I need to do a PS4, something with PS4. So I went to go buy a PS4 the next day, and then I bought I didn't buy baseball, but I bought soccer, hockey, basketball, and NFL. And initially it was just going to be a one-on-one stream while we play a game together. Did that a few times, got a CFL player, and I'll just build it on the CFL story. So we were streaming, doing fine, playing fairly even. And as soon as we started talking about marketing, different ideas I threw like 4 pick sixes. Game was over. But so then I kind of saw the market was there, and slowly started seeing their schools wanted to get involved, and thought of March Madness. I'm like, how cool would it be to get American and Canadian schools put together an event? And little did I know how much work would be needed behind this, but I'm glad where we are now, where it's more of set up the Zoom call, get everyone organized on that group chat that we have, and kind of go from there. But definitely an interesting event that I wouldn't have thought I'd be doing in January.
It's huge for you, though. You're really like maximizing what's going on right now, and definitely using the opportunity like to learn, which is like super important instead of just chilling out every day.
Oh yeah, I think I've been working harder during quarantine than I ever have in my life. But yeah. Sorry, Chelsea, kind of went off of the little rails there. Do you kind of want to touch on what your plans are after this whole...
Well, this is kind of just like a regular rotation for me, only because like the industry is so hard to, officially break into. Mm-hmm. So every year since I've graduated, like I've looked for full-time work. It hasn't come, but I've gotten internships. So when I moved to Minnesota and worked in Minnesota, then I moved to Pennsylvania, worked there, went to New York this past time, just a few weeks before the pandemic hit, with an internship. And obviously everything's different. I don't have my internship anymore. So I'm invited back if the team is actually still there. I don't know how familiar any of you guys are, but MILB is trying to restructure. Mm-hmm. and one of the team that I was working for is at risk of losing their affiliation.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of like a, right, left punch right there, like COVID, and then at risk of losing their affiliation. So I'm kind of like in this weird spot. So where if the team's around next year, I have a position that I can go back to. That's temporary, but it's at least something. But if they lose their affiliation, then I'm kind of just back where I'm going, which is just looking for a full-time job.
Yeah, for sure. So there's going to be some interesting times after all this, and a little more competitive than usual, just in the sense of
Yeah, as if it wasn't hard enough before.
Yeah, it's going to be, they're going to be asking, oh, what'd you do during, quarantine or anything like that. Then they're going to be looking for, let's say it's a sales role. They don't want you just to be good at sales. They want you to be good at sales, marketing, relationship management, partnerships, whatever. They want something that's the whole package. So that's kind of another reason why I kind of got into all this stuff, because just trying to develop all the different skills that I can and kind of grow from there. Sam, did you win? Not to be surprised or anything, but Sam, you
No,
won?
that's okay. That's okay.
You can't come back, eh? Right?
I think so. Yeah, it was down what, 1-0, 1-2-0 in the beginning.
Yeah. Big upset right there. Are you guys going again,
That's
right?
not bad. Yeah,
Perfect.
Yep, game 2.
I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be over really quick.
Yeah. It was going a little quick the first 2 innings. I think the third one went a little slower, but that's good stuff. Well, you guys both have Vladdy in the 7th slot, eh?
Yeah, I think that was automatic for me.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing with my lineup management.
Yeah.
No, that was a pretty good team actually.
Thanks, man.
You guys
Yeah,
big
when
baseball fans?
you said you weren't too good, but you're pretty good.
It's maybe just transferable skills from 2K and Shell.
Oh, it's okay. It happens.
Yeah, if that's a thing.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm looking at this, just the pitching. I used to have the game when I was younger, and I thought, how do you guys hit? Is it just with a button? Or do you have to, actually, with the joystick?
No, I use the X button.
Okay, good, because...
Yeah, I'll use that.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
pretty sure
like-
you also have to use the left stick to kind of move your batter's eye to get a better shot or a better hit, sorry.
I sometimes use that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
depends.
I use that function. It's pretty interesting, or at least it keeps the game interesting, trying to become
Yeah.
trying to up your vision. Not that it's working for me, but
That's funny. Yeah, Chelsea, are you, I know you said you work in minor league baseball. Another quick plug to my podcast here. I had the chief commercial and marketing officer of the MILB on my podcast, so that's something to check out. The route on all major platforms. But are you a baseball fan, or is it more hockey?
I like to say that my favorite sport changes with the season.
Okay.
Because I love them all so much.
Mhm.
But yeah, baseball, hockey, basketball. I wouldn't they're all up
Yeah.
there.
What's the hockey team here? Since I know at least me. Hopefully, maybe some of the other Canadians as well are into hockey teams. Hopefully, not the Leafs, but.
So Indy is in this really weird market where we're 4.5 hours from Detroit, 3.5 hours from St. Louis, 4 hours from Nashville,
Wow.
3 hours from Columbus, and then also 3 hours from Chicago. So it's perfectly in the middle. So you get a lot of random hockey teams. Hockey's not very popular here, but for the people that do follow, it's kind of all over the place. But I'm a Blackhawks fan,
Okay.
which probably isn't a much better answer for you. But
MLSC, if you're watching this, send me a message. But I'm not a Toronto fan. I love their business. Don't like the team. Actually, not. I shouldn't say that. But anyways,
No.
are you guys Leafs
love the
fans?
Hawks.
I am.
Overall?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I grew up one, but if I had to pick a team to stick with that I've never ever bailed on, it'd be the Washington Capitals, and it's because of one man and one man only, Alexander Ovechkin. After he retires, I'm not sure where my loyalty lies, but for now, my heart's with the Capitals all the way, always.
Oh, guys, come on, Senators. That's not to call myself a true fan or anything, but I'm a true fan.
I'm not gonna lie,
Not to brag, but
I was disappointed the Sens didn't get 1 and 2. I was
Hey.
looking to see some Quinton Byfield and some Alexei Lafreniere action with Brady Tkachuk.
I don't even want to get into that discussion. Look, yesterday, I don't know if you guys noticed, It was the only stream
great
not
draft.
at 8 p.m. Did you notice that? It's the only stream.
That's why. That explains it.
It was at 9:30, so I could watch my Senators win first and second in the lottery. Guess what? Didn't happen. Some random NHL team won first overall. Not happy about that. You know, we got 3-5.
How would you react if it was the Leafs that win it?
Don't talk. If to be honest, any team, I was looking at it. If Columbus wins it, fine, whatever. If the Islanders win it, because the Senators have the Islanders pick, but it's top 3 protected, I'll be pissed. I don't know. I was apparently yesterday. Apparently the Kings are big on Jamie Drysdale, which is defenseman, and you know they're loaded on forward prospects, so they need a D. So hopefully, they're saying maybe they want to switch like the 5th pick, the Sens 5th pick with their 2nd pick. So maybe Sens can still somehow get Byfield and like Stützle, but
Are you big on Marco Rossi? Because he is an Ottawa 67's product.
yeah, he is, but I'm big on him. I was looking at some statistics yesterday, and apparently, out of everyone in the 2020 draft class, he is the most likely statistically to be an NHL superstar. So I think he's 5 to 7% more likely than Lafreniere to become a superstar.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But he is nothing against undersized guys, but I like my undersized guys to be a little feisty, like Gallagher or something like that. But yeah, who knows? Because I think especially in playoff hockey, you need a little bit of a bigger guy. So with Tkachuk, we got some big boys too up front. So if Byfield and Lafreniere were there, Ottawa would just be dumbing people in the playoffs. But,
yeah, I remember the Sudbury Wolves coming to play in London at the Budweiser Gardens, and Quinton Byfield is bigger in person than he is on TV, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, well, like, also when you add skates to a 6'4" frame, you kind of think, like, makes me wonder, like, wow, this guy's huge. Because when you see the players come off the ice, like, and then, like, at the end of the game, they take off their skates and stuff, I'm, like, eye to eye with them. I'm like, yeah, you're not that tall. You're also, like, 5 years younger than me. So why am I comparing myself to you? But when they're on skates, it's like, like it really feels like a boys amongst men kind of comparison.
100%. I used to work at the football/hockey stadium here in Ottawa, and obviously, you know, you see the names and things like that on TV, but then at the end of the game when I'm like walking back to the office and then they're like mingling with their parents or billets or anything like that, I'm like, well, I'm not an overly large guy either, but I'm walking to the office and they're all like my height, and I'm like, come on, man, give me some skates. No, obviously I'm not that good at skating or hockey or anything like that. University intramural all-star though, not actually, but I like to call myself that. But yeah,
it is so interesting so like Indy is not a hockey market. It's not huge. It's only really gotten more popular, you know, with the last like 10 years or so. We do have an ECHL team, which has helped a lot. But so I learned about hockey like just watching the Hawks, and I got super lucky that my brother started watching in 2010, like the regular season, which was a great time to start if you're a Hawks fan.
Yeah.
So like liking hockey was easy for me starting out with, you know, the cup run. So when I went and worked in Minnesota, it was like the first time like in person I was around hockey players all the time, and I did game presentation, so I was down on the ice, in the locker rooms, you know, in the tunnels and stuff. And it is funny to like see the difference of these people, especially like pre and post game when they're coming out significantly shorter or just as huge and scary and intimidating as they look on TV. And there was one time I was walking. The setup in Minnesota is interesting. So the arena is connected to a convention center, which leads straight downtown. So the player hotel is right there. So a lot of teams don't even bother busing over. They'll just walk like through the courtyard, then through the convention center, and then they're there. And I was walking by PK Subban one day, and I was like, oh my God. Like, it was the most like identifiable, like, oh crap, like hockey moment for me to see like in person. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. That's for sure crazy. I've had a few experiences like that, but then I don't know. I don't really fangirl over certain people, at least athletes, because in my head they're like, oh, they're just like a human like I am.
You get kind of numb to it after a while.
Yeah,
That
but
sounds weird to say, but
no. I know what you mean, but I think I told this story a couple nights ago. But Claude Giroux, I met him when he was 15 or 16. I don't know if you guys know him with the Philadelphia Flyers. He was staying with he was a guy on my hockey team was his billet family, so he was staying at their place. And it's before he was a big name. My mom wanted to give him zit cream because he had bad zits. My sister told her not to. But what a story that would have been. But I guess it still is one. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how, like, especially when I worked at the football stadium here in Ottawa, just always having players come by. I don't know if you're Chelsea, you're probably not familiar with Henry Burris. I don't know if you guys are.
can't say.
Yep, quarterback. He used to play on the Stampeders.
Stampeders,
and Ottawa.
Rough Ride. He played almost the whole league. But yeah, extremely nice guy. Chelsea, what are your thoughts on these Canadian leagues, whether it's CFL, new soccer league, CPL? I don't know if you know about that yet.
No, I don't. Not as informed as I probably should be, but stereotypically, like, we have everything that I traditionally watch, so I haven't had to, like, go, overseas to learn about the other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of just building on that topic, I'll kind of ask everyone this as well. What's the interest from the three of you of leaving your home country of Canada or the USA to go work somewhere else in sports?
I'd love to. It's my dream.
Oh yeah? Where specifically for you?
I would love to go just overseas in general. Like, I'm not really picky. I just, like, have always loved to travel and do things that are new and to even work side out of, like, the big four here, like, even if it's more of a niche sport overseas. But anywhere in Europe, or, like, I think to work in hockey in Canada is like a pinnacle, sports. Being able to do it in Minnesota was, close enough. You kind of had, like, a little bit of an idea, but I feel like that's just, like, the top, and that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. How about let's go with Sam first and kind of work our way down.
I'd go to the US probably, just because I don't know. There's, like, more of everything. Like, you can go to a random high school. They can set you up with any job, or they might know somebody. Or, like, here in Canada, it's only if it's hockey, that might be it. There's no other variety of sports.
Toronto's I don't know. I know Toronto's starting to get, or obviously Toronto has all the major sports, but what is it? Rugby's getting a little bit bigger, especially with the Wolfpack in Toronto. Another plug for the podcast. Vice President of Commercial, John Pallett, was on the podcast. I think it's episode 12. Check it out. They're doing some pretty cool stuff and interesting things as well. And
they're playing in Europe now.
Yeah. So it's Chelsea. I don't know if you know this, but it's a Toronto-based rugby team, and they're playing the top rugby league in the world, but it's in the UK. Yeah. So Ottawa is actually getting a rugby team next year. I think they're going to start in the third tier.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So Ottawa's the spot, guys. Sam, I know you're already coming down to watch Atletico Ottawa with me, but
yeah, I'll come down there once or twice.
Yeah, Ottawa's a great town. It's a great place to live. But yeah, Chelsea, we're all as well. We can all meet up. Stream number 5, little get together, watch some games.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
Actually, you know what? That's a whole nother content idea. Maybe if someone's watching this and a videographer, hit me up. We'll make a whole YouTube channel. But I don't even know what I was gonna say here. I always go on these tangents. Oh yeah, rugby team. So I find there's a lot. Sam, you're kind of touching on all these different sports, and obviously the States is larger just in sheer population. But I do think Canada is coming up with these new expansion teams, I guess you can call them, whether it's rugby. I had someone on the stream the other day who, what's the league called? I think it's AUDL. It's American Ultimate Disc League, something like that. So there's a bunch of...
Oh, yeah, on TSN, I think I've seen it.
Yeah. So there's like different sports popping up everywhere, and something that I've gained from the podcast is just from like listening to all these like different executives and kind of picking their brains is that if you go work for I don't know why I always use the Yankees as an example, but that seems like the big name that always comes to mind. But working in sales for the Yankees or anything like that is a little easier because the brand development's already there. They already have that foundation.
Yep.
They're going to sell, boom, X amount of tickets, X amount of merch, regardless if anything happens, because you can walk the streets in Saskatoon, I bet, and you can still see a Yankees hat. But that's why I think I'm kind of interested in, not that I wouldn't go to the States, but maybe in Canada just kind of developing certain teams or brands a bit more, or even a league like the CFL or CPL, because it's much more of a challenge and kind of makes the job a little more interesting. So I'm kind of interested in that. But Haral, do you want to
You learn that too, like working in different levels. So like I've worked for the Division I university. I went to the NHL, the NBA, and then 3 different minor league baseball teams. So like I have different, like you can tell those challenges and how different it is, and just your resources, the way things are set up, the amount of responsibility and stuff that you had to. And I definitely like understand like where you're coming from, and that's like a lot of like what I appreciated working in minor league sports, in minor league baseball for, because some teams, like based on your affiliation, it's a little easier, but that necessarily wasn't the case for a lot of places that I worked. But it's more rewarding. You learn a lot more, and from my personal experience, not that being in the NBA or the NHL like wasn't great, because I love them both. It's just different completely. Yeah,
absolutely. And I kind of spoke to someone about this. They use the EPL as an example, just where those top teams, or even the minor, lower tier teams, they're selling out because that's so ingrained in the culture. So it's not really like, not that, obviously I would love to work in the UK sometime in my life, but it's in the culture. So whether they win or lose, people are going to the games. So that's why it's maybe a different challenge or a different way of operating. But Haral, we didn't get to you yet. Do you want to kind of touch on if you'd leave Canada, what type of market you want to get into?
I'm kind of on your side here, Chris. Like, obviously, like if my Instagram account doesn't tell you guys enough, I'm a big hometown guy, and obviously being born and raised in Canada and stuff, it's like it gives you a sense of comfort where it's like exactly like how things have developed, whether it's the market, the growing diversity here and stuff. You kind of feel like you're not really an expert, obviously, because like I'm still only 21, but like if there's any place in the world you're an expert in, it's obviously where you're from. And with the idea of like developing sports, I think that's a great way to go about it. Obviously, the NHL is well established. Like Toronto market's been well established, but I'd love to the opportunity to explore Canada maybe and get an opportunity to work either in the West Coast, maybe in the East Coast. I know there's a new soccer team in Halifax. I believe the CPL has a Halifax franchise now.
Wanderers.
Yeah, so that'd be something interesting. But if I had to go out of the country, I'd love to, I think, go to Europe. Not to plug a different podcast here, because that's not what we're doing here. But
Don't make me blanket. No, okay, go ahead.
Oh, we're allowed to say chiclets on this podcast?
Yeah. Chiclets, go ahead. I'm never going to catch up to chiclets. But
yeah, I listened to a couple episodes of Chiclets and stuff, and like the stories that they have from Europe, just in terms of like how different things are there, and like like for example how beautiful Switzerland is or something. It'd be cool to see European sports from there. And not gonna lie, there's probably no better experience of watching a soccer game than in somewhere like Camp Nou, Bernabeu, or even.
I've been there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Or Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, I'm a Man United fan myself, so Old Trafford would probably be the first place I go. But even if you're at a lower league and watching like second division soccer in any other country, like the experience is second to none. And I feel like you can't emulate that anywhere yet, here in Canada at least. So it'd be nice to explore that side of things. But if I had to pick one place, I think it'd be home. Yeah,
absolutely. And kind of just building on that, I'm going to plug my podcast again because I do have a guest he was a national player for the Switzerland hockey team for 15 years. He ended up working with the Hockey Federation in Switzerland, the IIHF, so the International Ice Hockey Federation. I'm pretty sure I got that right. And now he's, I think, president or part of the executive board of HC Davos in the Spangler Cup. So one of the most classic tournaments in the world. So that's a podcast to definitely check out. But I was kind of touching on the environment there and what it's like, and definitely a cool podcast. And I would definitely want to go to Europe as well, somewhere like that. But not that I wouldn't go to the States, but I find there's so much opportunity to kind of develop, whether it's the CPL, which is the new soccer league, the CFL, and kind of make it bigger, or even help. I know one of the things that kind of got me into sports marketing is just seeing the Sens having poor attendance, because Ottawa Senators, I'm born and raised, I've seen them when they're like 4th in the league in attendance, so I know how crazy the fandom is and how maybe with some improvements, some subtractions of some sort, where they can go and what kind of potential they have. So that's kind of what sparked my interest when I was younger. That's what I need to do, and I know if I do something like that, I'll never work a day in my life. You can say, but I will sleep on Saturdays on my aunt's couch outside. But yeah, let's just do a quick recap here. Haral, am I correct that you won Game 2?
Yeah, we wanted to keep it entertaining. So I guess we're going to deciding winner takes all Game 3.
Haral knows to get paid by the minute, so he wanted to make that third series. I actually don't get paid, but it sounds cool to say.
It's okay, sooner or later. Sooner.
What?
Yeah, who knows? Sam maybe
You will
blew it to
sooner or
make it
later.
interesting.
Yeah. Haral, what was
I
that?
love the views on this one. Fenway, excellent choice. It's a
Yeah.
beaut.
Oh no, I was just saying maybe Sam blew Game 2 to make it interesting for Game 3. Make it entertaining
I don't
for
know.
the fans.
Hey, I sent
Thanks
Sam
to
a
poster,
quick message here. I'm like, Sam, let's make this interesting. I need it to go 3. We had some issues with the stream earlier on, so I need this one to kind of pull through a bit. But
That's why things got easier at the end of the game.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. I'll transfer you the money in a bit. But yeah.
It's your Venmo.
Yeah,
That's
Venmo.
okay.
See, I've actually never gone into Venmo. I don't even.
Really?
I thought Venmo, or maybe it's Vimeo, is the one with the action sports clips.
That is, the
Vimeo,
second one
yeah.
that you said.
Yeah. Another shameless plug. I got to see the CMO of GoPro on the podcast. That's coming out soon as well. And
Your
for my Toronto
Plug
boys,
game is magnificent.
I have to. I'm in marketing. I got to sell myself a bit here. And this is what the whole event's about. Nascimento Marketing. Follow it. NASCIMENTOMKTG. TM. Huh. I make myself laugh. What was I going to say here? Oh, also for the Toronto boys. Jack Armstrong, familiar with him? Hello.
Yep. Who
He's,
doesn't? I mean, all of Canada knows him at this point.
He's on the podcast as well. His episode will be releasing July or August. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, you already know I'm tuned in for that one.
No, Haral, you've been tuned into all of them. He's a subscriber, correct?
Of course.
There we go. But fun story here, just getting back into the gameplay. I actually lived in Boston for 1 year. So yeah, when I was in grade 7, I lived in Boston because the company my dad was working for, they moved there, and there was Chris. But yeah, amazing stadium, and it's
so
kind of,
pretty.
I think just the experience as a whole of going to Fenway. I don't know if anyone here has gone to Fenway. It just feels like you're back in like the 1920s. Kind of when you go under the grandstand and you're getting a hot dog or anything like that, just the signage and everything. Amazing experience.
So that's a lot of what it's like in Wrigley, because they were built, what was it, two years apart, 2 or 3 years apart. And it's like why I love going to Wrigley so much. I've been to Boston. I did a facility tour during this, I don't remember when it was, but like the team was on the road. So I haven't seen a game, which really stinks. I've been trying to get back for a game, but just being inside, it is so beautiful. I love, and like being a Cubs fan, and Wrigley is obviously the best. You like learn to appreciate stuff like that.
100%.
And it's different. It feels so much better personally for me going to see a game somewhere like Wrigley or eventually Fenway than going to these brand new, ridiculously nice places.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of when I'm traveling to try to get to these different stadiums or different sporting events. So I actually finished school a little early in December because I was in the mindset that everyone was going to be coming out of school in June and we'd all be getting jobs. So I wanted to have a leg up on all the competition. Well, psych, no, that didn't happen. Thanks, Corona.
Great thought.
But Yeah, I actually ended up going to see again the Patriots, so Brady's last home game or home win. So I saw that. I saw a Celtics game, and then a week later, I flew to go see friends in Australia, and then I stopped in Rome to catch Ronaldo versus Roma. But just the sheer experiences, Wrigley is definitely one of those stadiums that I need to get to.
I love it. I wish everyone could have gotten there before all the renovations. It's still absolutely gorgeous, and the Ricketts have done a good job of like making it still look old, even though it's new. Like it looks the same. It's just not 100+ years old anymore. But there's still nothing like it. It's great.
Isn't Fenway the one then? I think there's a statistic or something like that where Fenway's the oldest obviously there's touch-ups, but it's still like the majority of it is still like original. Because the seats, as lovely as the stadium is, some of the most uncomfortable,
crap.
awful, horrible seating.
Wrigley just pulled up the seats like 2 years ago. Like it wasn't even that long because my dad, we actually have some of the seats. We bought them when they went on auction. But
legally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know Sam like that one. Sam, thank you. Sam, you're my number one fan. I'll send you a little more money a little later.
Well, no, it's like semi-related, but not. So when I was in Minnesota, I worked the Super Bowl. So I think it was 52, Patriots Eagles. And I don't know if it's anything that you guys would have heard about, but there's Eagles fans that like went viral and got on the news because they stole the seats from US Bank Stadium. And I watched the guy that did it was in my section. I watched this Eagles fan, absolutely absurd. So they're really thin plastic, like super cheap. You can practically see through them. He grabbed the back, twisted it, and kicked the back of the seat as he was twisting, and the back came right off. And he took it. It snowed 16 inches that day, so everyone, and plus it's February in Minnesota, so everyone had like really big coats and stuff. I watched him put on his coat, zip it up, and then put the seat in the back of his coat, like he was sitting in it, but obviously, and he was like walking out. And it was like one of the most like absurd things that I've ever seen. Like this Eagles fan was so excited about like the win, but that just made me think of obviously all this seat talk. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen while working in sports.
That's wild. And
yeah, that was a thing. They missed like they did like a thing on the news where like 10 or 12 seats were stolen out of US Bank Stadium after the game.
That's crazy. And I think you may have seen Sam is a Patriots fan like myself in the picture when he wasn't connected to Zoom. Sam, that wasn't just heartbreaking hearing the title Eagles versus Patriots Super Bowl again. I don't know.
That was the worst
tonight. I just want.
But I gotta say,
the stream's over.
Also.
Stream's over.
It was so cool to attend like event like the Super Bowl. Like obviously everyone knows like how big of a deal that is, and just not care, but like truly like appreciate it as a whole. Like I wasn't emotionally connected to what was going on at all, and just to be able to take it in like that, it's one of the coolest things I've ever got to do.
Super Bowl is unreal.
Bucket list, check.
I was lucky enough to go to Super Bowl 50 with my dad, and being a Patriots fan, the amount of times the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl in the last number of years, that's the one I go to, which they didn't go. Not that I'm complaining. Obviously, it was great that I went, but still. Crazy experience. And it's the thing you're saying about the stolen seats and just the Super Bowl as a whole, for how expensive the tickets are, and then just hearing kind of the stories that come out of the Super Bowl, you have to have a certain socioeconomic standing. So maybe you have a high level of lawyers, accountants, doctors, whatever, right, to be going to that game or to afford it. But then they're just kind of ripping, like you're saying, ripping the chairs, kind of taking whatever they can, acting out. It's crazy just to think of that. I
had no like experience like with Philly other than like just personally visiting, being in Indy. It's not like that close really. So like I saw that, and then the next year I moved to Pennsylvania, just a couple hours outside of Philly, and all the stereotypes about people from Philly were just like it made sense. I was like, oh yeah, of course people are stealing chairs. And one of my favorite shows is Always Sunny, and they are very accurate with their portrayal of Philly and stuff. And it was just funny looking back. It was like, yeah, these are definitely the type of people that are going to steal chairs.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, this is my Super Bowl 50 chair. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, put that on my CV. Comedian. Yeah. So Sam, you pulled it off, eh? You once again, I paid you well, didn't I? But
Yeah, I think the money's in.
yeah, the money's in.
Yeah.
I
Money
don't
in
know
the
what's more
bank.
rigged.
Huh?
I don't know what's more rigged, the NHL draft lottery or this podcast.
Oh man. Well,
No,
this
I
stream
think the
definitely is.
NHL would still be more.
I don't even want to talk about the NHL, guys. We're gonna shut the stream down real quick if we get back into that. We're talking about Patriots losing, Sens losing first overall. Cry myself to sleep.
At least you've been
Okay, at
too
least the
farther in the
Patriots won
playoffs.
6 games.
Pardon?
Yeah, there you go, right?
What?
You've had enough success.
Where?
This Patriots Super Bowls,
Man, we didn't win it this year. It's not the same.
No.
Oh, you
don't
poor unfortunate soul.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, are you
Don't worry,
guys?
Garrett's
Won the
good
Super
with-
Bowl when I was like 8. So it's like you remember it, but you don't care. I mean, I care,
See,
but
what my hope was, Ottawa gets 1 and 2. Patriots maybe slight little decline, just a little bit, and then boom, Senators top. Patriots kind of maybe flop a little this year. We get Trevor Lawrence next year. Both my teams number 1. I'm the happiest person in the world. I become president of both teams somehow in the next 5 years. We're all laughing. You guys are on my executive board, and we kind of move on from there. But
I like
Take it.
that idea. That's a great idea.
Sam's like, yo, where do I sign up?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Guys, thank you so much. Obviously, we don't need to end it right away, but let me just move the screens here for anyone watching. Sorry for the seasickness of me moving the screens around so much. But, Sam, Seneca College, you move on. I will notify you about round 2 when it's available. Haral, thank you so much for coming on and making it a 3-game series. This is the only 3-game series we had, so this is extra content that I needed. But you guys want to talk about anything else? By all means, let's do it. I know you guys are maybe a little focused on if your change ups.
yeah, it's your guys' term. I
Yeah.
talked so much there.
I don't know. I just maybe want to ask all of you guys, what has, obviously, there's been so many stories, I think, with the sports world that's come out of since COVID-19 hit. Obviously, whether it's like, within the game itself or whether it's the social aspect of the game. I guess what's been your favorite story to come out of quarantine so far when it comes to sports? Like maybe there's a change you expect to or anticipate to come that came as a result of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Might be a loaded question, but I'm just curious. It's fun talking about these kinds of things.
No, for sure. Sam, do you
Well, I know sports are coming back, so that's one thing that will keep me occupied for the time being.
Yeah. At least for myself, something that kind of sparks my interest quite a bit is a big conversation that we've had in my last semester of university was with the way the economy goes, and sometimes obviously it crashes, boom bust. But when the economy drops or there's a recession that happens, yes, unfortunately some businesses, don't pull through, but then that just allows for, new innovative ideas. And I think that's just going to happen the same way with the sports industry where, like what Chelsea was saying, for certain minor league baseball teams, they're going to have to restructure. And then, some teams are going to be a little more crunched for capital, and same with leagues. I know the CFL, at least here in Canada, I don't know how they're going to figure it out, but hopefully they do. But I think the result of it is just going to allow for teams to try being that much more unique and not just, settle for, oh, you know what, we met our quota, we sold tickets, that's it. I'm hoping for more of a unique experience as a whole, building players' brands. I think that's huge because obviously if there's no games being played, you can still kind of continuously grow your brand via the athlete because they're part of, the face of the franchise. So I'm pretty excited to see where at least the world of marketing goes for sports. And maybe that's just kind of a topic that I like talking about because that's what I'm in. But yeah.
I personally, a lot of my previous experience is based like in event planning, whether it's from like a game presentation side or like special events. And so a lot of like what I personally do and is centered around people and how many people you can get inside to participate and like do all the extra stuff. So I'm just super interested to see what the leagues are going to do to adapt and how long it's going to take for everyone to get back to full capacity and like what their kind of supplemental changes are going to do, because obviously like this year it's going to be no fans, and then I'm just curious like the progression and seeing like the adaptions that come from that, because unfortunately like what we want to do is going to take years to recover from this. So the trickle effects from this are going to be very prevalent, with what we want to do for a long time to come.
For sure. Haral, what about yourself? What's the storyline that you're kind of
Yeah,
looking forward to?
I mean, for me, I think it's just like this probably combines the social aspect and the social impact that the game has had over like, which is everything that's going on related to like the injustices we see in the world. I think this opportunity is probably the best time for sports to open themselves up to become as inclusive as possible. I think it makes sense from a business standpoint and a social standpoint here, because I mean, like if you can't have any fans in your stadiums, you got to find an innovative way to get as many fans to stream and watch your show or watch your games. And I mean, like with everyone, like, not being able to enter the stadiums, you're looking at like the world is your oyster. You have people like, I mean, North Americans were strapped for sports and strapped for baseball. People started waking up early to watch Korean baseball. People started watching Bundesliga. So, I mean, you can tell that no matter how much you might love a certain team or a certain league, I think it's like your love of sport is what comes first and what's left at the end of the day. So with like emerging leagues like the CPL, the CEBL with basketball in Canada, and I mean, even with like rugby, like you mentioned, cricket's obviously a big sport that I used to watch growing up, and it's big like over in India, England, and Australia, but hasn't found its way to North America yet. So maybe that's something that happens. So I'm really interested to see which leagues kind of take the lead on emerging and developing themselves to become like the most inclusive sport.
Yeah. No, that's a really interesting thing to say that, because when you kind of join up a team, you obviously talk about, you have your diehard fans, your casual fans, those who come for like the big ticket names, like I'll use hockey, like McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin, etc. But then kind of what you're saying is when the season stops, and obviously the NHL, typically during the summer months, that's when people would maybe go to baseball, maybe kind of stop watching sports, go to the cottage, golfing, etc. But then with everything stopping, and then some leagues slowly coming back, whether it's Korean baseball, what's another, Bundesliga, and I know the CEBL announced a few days ago they're coming back, and people are like itching for that. They want some type of sports, so it just kind of proves to you that there is a, what is it? I don't know if capacity is the best word, or there's a certain ceiling where once you get there, and once a fan is missing sports so much, you can break that wall and pull them over to a new sport or to a new fandom or something like that, where you're a diehard hockey fan, but if you're not watching hockey for a year, you know what, maybe you're going to start watching soccer because you want to watch something competitive, something you can cheer on and kind of let loose on the weekends, and have that emotional outlet. So yeah, that's pretty interesting for sure.
I wonder like how back sports are actually going to be, because almost every league at this point like has a plan of action, and I know like the NBA and the NHL were, at least here, like the first to come out with plans, but they were in the future, coming back in stages and whatever. And now MLB's doing it too, even though it's like a bit accelerated. But like we've kind of seen it with the golf tournaments and the tennis tournament that was just hosted, where like people are being diagnosed with COVID. And so I'm interested to see like how that adapts. Like if as soon someone gets it, are we shutting down? Are they just leaving? So like, are we really going to be, are we really going to be back? Like, I'm excited for whatever we get, but I'm curious to see like the adaptions, because inevitably like people are still going to get sick.
Oh yeah.
Because baseball is, talking about how like they might not, like the MLB, we might not even make it through playoffs because the second wave that's supposed to hit. So like they're in this rush to get back, and you wouldn't even get the part that matters. I mean, it all matters, but you get it. So
it's
I'm
crazy
curious,
too, because like all those southern states like Florida,
Oh, it's
like
so bad.
Texas, Arizona, where all those teams were started like fleeting out to kind of start training, anything like that.
Yeah.
And now, boom, they're the ones kind of blowing up. So.
Well, and that's where they want to have everything
Mhm.
because of taxes, and they're tax free, or
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not tax extra, because of all that. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to hold on to like the little bits that I get, but I don't think we're like actually going to be back for a while.
Yeah,
It's sad.
that's a tough pill to swallow. But Sam, maybe I can transfer you some more money for a quick little joke. But no, it's lighten the mood. But Sam, anything you kind of want to touch on here before we go? Whether it's just shouting out to Sportsnet, give Sam a job, please, or any of us.
I wish. No, but I think the big problem right now with all this testing
Mhm.
is, sure, they're all getting, like, a lot of players are getting positive,
Mhm.
but they're actually getting tested.
Mm.
So it's like they may not know it beforehand. You might think all athletes are okay, and then once you realize who actually has it, then it might not be like as bad.
Yeah.
So there's still a chance that maybe we can get some sports this year, but
I certainly
only
hope so.
time will tell.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, so then I can see that the Sens can pick a 3-5 and not 1. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on the stream. I know we had some issues at the start with the Twitch and the Zoom, but I'm glad I kind of figured it out. And Sam, thank you for making it interesting. And Haral, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. But if there's anything else you guys want to say, whether it's just kind of promoting yourself or some place to reach out to you guys or anything like that, by all means, this is the time to do so.
Oh, I just want to say, good game. That was, I don't know. At first, I'm like, oh, it's all over. This is going to be a quick one, but you know what? It was pretty fun altogether.
A little shout
Might
out for
play some more
himself.
quick games after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Sam. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge MLB guy by any means, but it's a really interesting game, and I think, yeah, we kept it interesting and fun. And I mean, if we're the only if you're the only time we're streaming MLB The Show on your podcast, you got to give the fans a show, right?
Yeah. Hey,
Maybe we
that's
need
why
a
it's
round
called the
two.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There you go, right? Look at the marketing genius right here. Yeah, I mean, who knows? If the MLB doesn't have their playoffs, you're going to have to get some more streams going because the fans are going to be strapped for some baseball, and we're going to need a Hurl and Sam round 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It's going to
Yeah,
be
why
round
not?
32. We're going to get a whole series, just you guys. 32 streams in 32 nights. Well, I still got like 26 more to go, I think. But that's
Okay, we can make it happen.
yeah.
Just getting started, right?
Yeah, we're just getting started.
I guess, yeah, a little personal plug for myself.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone is watching and is still interested in some more sports business conversations, obviously, this podcast is a great place to start. But if you want to branch out, Ivy Sports Leadership Conference, it's held at Western University. We're on Instagram. We have a website. We're on Facebook as well. So definitely check us out. Stay updated with the conference and stuff. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of our accounts. We have a great team of executives every year. We're happy to answer some questions. If you have any suggestions and stuff, we're looking to make it bigger and better every year. And if we go online, I mean, the sky's the limit for the audience. So we want to do our best to make connections within the sports business industry, especially for Canadian university students where there's not as many opportunities as maybe the United States would be.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to bridge those connections and make that happen.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And just on the point of that, especially with, live streams, there's that certain slot that we're live and kind of having people tune in and out. But it will be on Twitch and YouTube forever. So everything we said here, hopefully my jokes aren't too cheesy in 50 years. But great plug, and I love what you guys are doing at Ivy, and hopefully we can see where that goes as well. Chelsea?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So to plug the presenting sponsor, and honestly, the organization that's changed my career from, the first day that I literally was a part of it. Living Sport is an incredible opportunity to travel internationally, learn more about sport business, to network. I've met some of my best friends in the world through this program, but also not even people that I traveled with. They've gone on countless trips now. I think we're about 10. Just the network that we've built is unbelievable, and we want as many people to be a part of it as possible. With COVID and everything changing right now, the abroad trips weren't able to happen, but there is currently a program that you can apply to go to Nashville, Tennessee, here the first week of August. That would be a phenomenal opportunity for anyone that is still itching to get some sort of internship experience with, a lot of people's internships like myself being canceled. So you can apply livingsport.com. You can follow on all the social channels. I am Living Sport. I'm a product of the program. I can't recommend it enough. So you guys should definitely check it out and apply, and you won't regret it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Shout out to Living Sport for sponsoring the event. Thank you again for everyone for coming on the podcast or stream. Sorry, I got a podcast too throughout on all major platforms. But you don't have to quick little plug there again. Here, so I'm holding the Zoom right now so you can see everyone's names. Here's my name, Christopher Nascimento. You have Haral Patel, Sam Azar, Chelsea Bingham. So if you want to add any of us on LinkedIn, have a conversation, coffee chat, however you do that during these times. But obviously give us a shout and try to connect with us. But thank you so much for everyone coming on. I know we're going to keep in contact. I know all of you are coming to Ottawa. Sam, you're going to pay for the tickets for the Atletico game. But
okay.
No.
Yeah, why not?
Well, with the money that I sent you, Sam, it only makes sense.
Don't worry.
So going right back to you, eh?
Yeah. But but obviously all of us will connect again in the future. Hope you guys can come to Ottawa, or maybe I'll go wherever you guys are and we'll keep in contact. So thank you so much for coming on. It's a Saturday night. Kind of great way to either start it or end it, depending on your lifestyle. But thank you so much. And that's it for tonight. See you tomorrow. I don't know who tomorrow is, but it's going to be a good one. It's going to be another American stream. So I think it's going to be Madden tomorrow, I believe. So stay tuned for that. And see you guys tomorrow.